The last thing I want to ask you about the book is relationships. I mean, you got married fairly recently, and you kind of break it down in the book. You talk about physical attraction, material, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. I mean, just quickly, what are some of the things you talk about? What did you learn about relationships? You know, there's nothing easy about getting married. You know, what's it been like?
Yeah, so I've been with my wife for 7 years, and we've been married for 4. And she's been in and around my space for 11 years in total, in terms of when I first met her. So we've got to know each other really, really well. And yeah, it's not easy. Marriage is hard, and it requires a lot of work. But some of the things that I talk about in the book that I love is, one of the things that I really want to talk about is, I feel that there's a great institute called the Gottman Institute, which is run by John and Julie Gottman. They're this amazing couple that are researchers and have researched everything about love and marriage and compatibility that you'd ever want to know. And when I read their studies early on, this was probably I think it was before I became a monk, or around that time. And I came across these studies that showed that the number one skill needed to make a relationship last, it wasn't date nights, it wasn't walks on the beach, it wasn't grand gestures, it was learning how to fight. That what makes a relationship last is learning how to navigate conflict, because conflict will always arise. And so again, just like fear, if you run away from it and you go, we never fight, I don't want to fight, I don't want to do this, you actually end up potentially ruining a relationship, because there's always going to be something that comes up, whether it's big or small. And so when I heard that, I started to really look into like the psychology of conflict and fighting, and because I was trying to realize and understand that. And one of the things I realized about that was that we rarely communicate the same, because we all have such different experiences. So when you say a word, Brian, and I say a word, just like in a marriage, we both could be saying 2 totally different things. So when someone says in a relationship, I want more of your time, that could mean so many things. That could mean I want more time on the weekend. It could mean I want time every day. It means I want time where you listen to me. You could say, I want time where we play a game together. I want time when we go to dates. Time is such a broad word that means so many different things to different people. And actually what I realized through working with couples and people too, was that people weren't asking for time. They were asking for energy, presence, and intimacy. Those were actually what people wanted. Like, so for example, me and you have just spent a ton of time together, which I'm grateful for. And we could have been like this the whole time. And that would have been spending time. I gave you my time. Like, Brian, you asked for time and I gave you time. But you'd be like, no, but Jay, what I wanted was your energy and your presence. And same with me. If you're on your laptop coming up with answer questions for other guests, we've spent time. And so many couples will spend a whole weekend together. And then one of them goes feeling, gave my wife a lot of time this weekend. And the partner's thinking, I need to spend more time with you, because they wanted energy and presence. So for me, communicating what you truly want in a relationship is so clear. And the reason why we struggle with this is we can't even diagnose our own emotions. So Harvard has this incredible table that I refer to in the book. You can Google it and type in Harvard emotional vocabulary. And what it does is it breaks down the synonyms or the depths of an emotion to give us a deeper understanding of what we're feeling. So I'll give an example. Like, we literally use 5 words. Our vocabulary is pretty much limited to 5 words that we repeat, which are good, bad, okay, fine, right? So someone goes, hey, Brian, how's your day going? Good. Brian, how's your week been? Bad. How's everything going, Brian? Fine. Like, those are literally where our emotional vocabulary stops. When actually, there's so much more to each word. So the Harvard table, which you can Google, shows how when you're saying you're sad, but are you actually offended? Are you irritated? Are you upset? Are you confused? Are you distraught? So we use the word sad as this umbrella term for millions of emotions. And then we expect our partner to understand, dissect, and solve all of that. And so to me, the biggest thing I've learned, both through monk life and using these studies, is the ability to diagnose how you truly feel. and then articulating that clearly as a diagnosis is what allows someone to engage with you well. And if you, again, can't diagnose how you feel, then there is no chance that someone else is going to diagnose how you feel. And so we have to do the work to learn to listen to ourselves, to understand our minds, to articulate that so that someone else has the opportunity to respond positively.